What up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's DJ. I do Pokemon content here, so if you like Pokemon, subscribe to the channel. I do unboxings, investments, and podcasts like these. So let's get to it. Today's question of the day, episode 2 of Let's Talk Pokemon, is starting from scratch, where do we go from here? So this question actually kind of came from a friend of mine from work. Hi Rob. And he wanted to start collecting again. He's a 90s kid. He hasn't collected for like 20 years or so. And obviously a lot has changed with the game, with Pokemon rarities and sets and everything like that. So he's just like, where do I begin? And it's a very broad question. So what I'll try to do is break down some tips and ideas that you can use if you're a beginner. And even if you are a collector for the past couple of years or so, I might maybe change some things, maybe the mindset that you had, or maybe give you guys a fresh idea that you're like, oh, maybe I could do that. Feel free to share your ways of collecting in the comment section below. So guys, collecting, there's no right or wrong answer to it. He actually wanted to invest as well, collect and invest at the same time, which technically speaking, they go hand in hand. They're virtually the same. You can't collect without investing, and you can't invest in something without collecting, especially in collectibles like Pokemon. So I'm not going to touch on that hugely, but you can technically kill two birds with the same stone, right? You can start off by collecting things that you know, things that you used to collect, which would be the old sets that you grew up with, like base set, jungle, fossil. But I would strongly suggest downloading the app PokeCollector or some sort of similar app that is out there that pretty much contains all the sets and their current form. So as in how many cards in the set, how many secret rares, you name it, right? So it has all the sets there. You can even see the pictures of the cards. You might want to decide that I just want to collect cards that I like. And that's good too. You can just look through that and be like, oh, I like this card, I like this card, I like this card, and you just buy those cards, right? There's so many different ways to collect now. And like I said, no right or wrong. If you are going in the investment approach, then definitely there's certain cards that you could technically go for. But if you're just starting out from scratch, I strongly suggest just collect for fun, collect something that you like, something you know, and move from there, right? Don't go straight into the hard yards. Don't just jump straight into the pool. Learn how to paddle and all that first. Start with the basics. So educate yourself is very important when it comes, when you're coming back into the game. Don't just go out there and be like, I got lots of money. Let's just spend. You gotta want to know what you're buying, and just know that you're gonna like it. It's hard to say, right? But yeah, if you definitely start with the sets that you remember as a child. They can be a bit more pricier, but it's that feeling that, just brings you back to it. You're just like, I need to have that card again. So actually my friend, his cards were all lost or damaged. Same with mine back in the day. I didn't start collecting again since like maybe 4 years ago. And you just got to start from scratch, and you just got to find your way through there. So I think it helps when people with the knowledge shares that with other guys, and that's why I wanted to make this video, so he can actually watch it and just learn from someone with a bit of experience with starting from scratch and then just building your way up back again to a great collection or even investments, right? So definitely start with something you know. You can even branch out to the later sets because they're so new, so colorful. You're just going to learn a few new things, the terms full art, ultra rare, hyper rare, gold card, VMAX, GX, EX, all these new things. You're going to be like, what the hell is that? Because times have changed, right? Like back in the day, it was just like 4 rarities: common, uncommon, holo rare, and regular rare. And now there's all these new things. The sets nowadays are like twice as big. You just got to know what kind of thing you want to tackle. You could be a collector that just want to collect sets, complete sets, or master sets. And using those kind of apps that I was saying before, like Pokelector, will help you complete those sets and just tick boxes. And it's very satisfying to some people who like that kind of thing. Some people like collecting one Pokemon or one type of Pokemon. I assume some people like grass Pokemon and they just purely collect grass Pokemon. I actually have a friend, he just collects the original 150 Pokemon, all from different sets. He's not picky, he just has a binder and it starts with Bulbasaur, a whole page of Bulbasaurs, all from different sets, base set, you name it. All different sets where Bulbasaur's in, he's got those cards. Next page would be Ivysaur, next page would be Venusaur, and so on and so forth. So he just collects the original 150 Pokemon because that's what he likes. So you got to do what you like. I strongly suggest that because that's what's going to keep you going, what's going to keep you motivated in collecting. And then, further that you can start investing, right? No pure 100% tips on how to collect, like the best way to collect. There's so many people that do binder collections. I myself do binder collections. Some people just collect PSA graded cards, which is also if you're coming back into the game, you'll be like, what is this PSA graded card thing? Just educate yourself on that because there's a lot of people in that market, PSA graded. Some people just purely collect those. And that deserves a whole video in itself, PSA graded. There's so many things you can do with that, so many avenues. But yeah, some people collect full sets in PSA graded and that gets, really, pricey as well. So keep that in mind. Try to stick to your budget. If you're starting back again, a lot of these sets can be, or even the sets that you grew up with, a lot of them are very expensive now. Be mindful of that and maybe just watch your spending. Maybe do some research first and find out, what's the best deals you can get on certain cards and so forth. Another thing was, so collecting certain Pokemon. I know there's a Cubone collector. All they do is just collect Cubone cards. Holo, non-holo, or even, some people collect Venusaur, and I've seen someone, he actually just has Venusaur base set, booster packs, sealed, jumbo card Venusaurs, all Venusaurs, nothing else, right? So that's purely up to you. And you can educate yourself on definitely the new sets because those are the latest things, those are the cheaper products right now in the market. But yeah, there's so many avenues you can do, like starting collecting if you're going to start. I tend to start with a binder, fill that up, promo cards. People collect promo cards, just purely promo cards. They're very pretty to look at and they also have a set to it. There's people that just collect gold cards, which are some of the late things, and rainbow rare cards or EXs, GXs. They don't care about the commons or uncommons. It's totally up to you how you collect and what you want to do. I just thought I'd share this for my friend especially, who's just beginning to just start collecting again. He's like, what set do I start buying? Where do I go from here? There's actually a really cheap way. If you're going for quantity over quality, you can even go for those bulk deals, which most of the time they're commons and uncommons, and then they might chuck in a GX or two. But that's a really good way to just ease your way into the new sets and just start getting a lot of cards really quickly and just be boosting that confidence a little by little. If you're just going for the high-end stuff, by all means, if you're patient enough, you can save up for those cards, or if you have the money, then definitely go for those high-end cards if you like them. Because everyone knows Charizard's really high-end, and a lot of people like Charizard, right? So, but you got to be prepared to fork out so and so, yeah. I started off buying people's collections as well, so go on Marketplace, go on plenty of areas where you can find a good deal, and just be obviously be careful how you buy. I'm definitely going to make an episode of Let's Talk Pokemon with tips and tricks to be buying cards and best way to find deals. I've found so many deals. I know a lot of people who continuously buy find great deals. You just got to be all over it. If you really like it and you really want to do this and you really want to collect and catch them all, then definitely you'll be on it all the time. You'll always just be looking for the best bargain, right? And in that way you could grow your collection a lot faster. And let's face it, this is not the 90s. a lot of us who get back into it, that love Pokemon back then and they're coming back into it now, they're all got jobs, they're all working. We're not in the schoolyard. Not many people our age at our work would, hey, let's trade cards. Not like in school days where, you just go to the playground and everyone's just trading, which was really handy to grow your collection too. So definitely join up some Facebook groups or even just Instagram people, all those kind of social media stuff. You don't need to necessarily do anything there, but if you contact other people who know what they're doing and just you can compare your collection to theirs, and you can even find some trades there as long as you're being careful with who you trade with, obviously with scams and all that jazz. So that's my point of view with collecting. Just start anywhere you like. You can set collect. You can collect PSA graded cards. You can collect sealed products. Sealed products are more in the line of investments. But at the same time, like I said, they're very much linked, because you might not just want to invest in it. You might just want to collect it because you like the arts on the booster packs. And or booster boxes, or even elite trainer boxes. Some people like that kind of thing. So there you go. You can collect those things. You can just find anything within your budget that you like. Go for it. That's my suggestion. Don't hesitate. Ask your friends as well, especially people who know what it's like, what products are out there. I think he shared with me a post from marketplaces like, is this a good deal? Definitely share those kind of things with other people, and they should be able to tell you whether, from experience, if it's a good deal or not, or maybe there's better deals out there, similar deals that do the same thing. And definitely bulk or buying other people's collections is a great way to start. If you're collecting sets and you want to know the cheapest way, you can just buy a complete set, especially vintage stuff. Booster boxes for vintage stuff are like through the roof. So you're better off just buying someone else's set, or even just single cards if you can't buy a complete set, right? So yeah, there's just so many avenues you can do. You can buy singles from card shops. You can go to your local stores like Big W or GameStop, whatever you guys go to, Walmart. I know a lot of guys are from the UK and US and all that stuff. So over here we have like Kmart in Australia. You can buy stuff from there. And a lot of the deals I find are on Facebook. That's what I use. And I know eBay as well. eBay is a great place to go. It's very just easy, right? Just buy it now, click. And you kind of know that you can have some issues, but it's very rare. I'm definitely going to share my tips and tricks with buying. I don't want to get too much into it in this video. This is more for tips on like where to start, where do you begin. So you ask yourself questions. Do I want to collect English? Do I want to collect Japanese? Do I want to collect both? What sets do I want to complete, or do I want to buy complete sets? Do I want to buy just one particular Pokemon? What one type of Pokemon? Psychic's my favorite type, or Primate's my favorite Pokemon, so I want to just collect Primates. It's really up to you, yeah? So there it is. That's my idea on where to start. You got to ask yourself quite a few questions. Definitely download something like Pokelector or another app that you can see all the sets, you can see the cards, and make a decision from there, and base it around your budget, see if you can work around it. Because not everyone can afford a lot of things, right? So especially with vintage stuff, you can go the sealed product route. That's pretty much investing, but also at the same time you might just want to be collecting those things because you miss those things. You miss seeing a fossil booster pack or a base set booster pack, or whatever you grew up with. And definitely try out those new sets because they're new, they're cool, they're exciting. There's a lot of things you can learn from the sets, and it's a greater challenge, right? So from back in the day, back in the day it was like jungle set 62 out of 62, complete set. Nowadays it's like 300, 400 cards for complete set, 25 secret rares. They've just made it like that much harder to complete a set, or much more challenging, which I guess gets people engaged into it. So definitely collect whatever you want to collect. There's no right or wrong. If you're going investment route, definitely go sealed product, collecting that kind of thing, or even just collecting PSA graded cards, which also kind of hold their value. But yeah, leave your questions in the comment section below. If you are also a PokeTuber, I know I'm going to get a few comments. Electric Type 88 and TCG Authority. Leave your tips and tricks down below so people can learn from that as well. It's just so cool for like everyone to just join in and be like, hey, I'm a collector. This is what I did when I started out. And yeah, there's so many things you can learn from other people. Definitely ask them. Next time, guys, subscribe, like, comment, blah, blah. See you next time.